For that. And joining me now is California Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell, member of the House Intelligence Committee and a top Democrat on the subcommittee on the CIA. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
So President-elect Trump, as you heard, suggests that he has new information and he's going to provide it to us either tomorrow or Wednesday. Any idea what he might be talking about?
Chris, it's baffling. President-elect Trump does not have any better information than President Obama, who has given the President-elect same access that President Obama has. And so unless President-elect Trump has his own intelligence service, again, it looks like he's just winging it. And so it is disturbing, though, that he has chosen to side with a murderous dictator, Vladimir Putin, over the patriots who serve our own intelligence services. It
does seem like there is bipartisan support for stiffer sanctions, in fact, against Vladimir Putin. You've also been pushing for a commission that would investigate foreign hacking in the 2016 election and try to keep it from happening again, obviously. Have you been able to get Republicans on board for that?
I'm encouraged that so many Republicans in the House and the Senate want a congressional investigation, but I do think it needs to go a step further, and Elijah Cummings and I are calling for an independent investigation. And it's important to have outside bipartisan experts to look at this, because they'll be able to fully devote their time to looking at how we were so vulnerable, who was responsible to sign off once and for all. And I think the fact that the president-elect continues to undermine the findings of our intelligence community, that underscores why it's so important to have something that's outside of politics and puts country and, the independence of experts first. And that, I think, will go a long way in putting this to bed as far as who was responsible.
But no Republicans have signed on yet.
Not yet. I'm going back to Washington tonight. I'm going to continue to work, and I do believe there's an opportunity there, and we'll be reintroducing our bill tomorrow.
And I know there will be a lot of conversation about what Mr. Trump had to say when he was again asked why he doesn't seem to believe U.S. intelligence assessments that tie Putin and Russia to hacking. Let me just play that one more time.
I just want them to be sure, because it's a pretty serious charge, and I want them to be sure. And if you look at the weapons of mass destruction, that was a disaster, and they were wrong. And so I want them to be sure. I think it's unfair if they don't know.
He said, I think it's unfair if they don't know. As a member of the subcommittee on the CIA, I wonder what's been the reaction inside the intelligence community to comments like that, if you can share.
Sure. Chris, I think it's unfair that I don't think he knows, because it's clear that he has taken fewer intelligence briefings than any incoming president. It's also unclear whether he has even been briefed on this. He said he's going to take the briefing, but has not convinced anyone that he has actually received the facts. And so, again, it seems that he's either just shooting from the hip, or there's something else going on between the president-elect and the Russian dictator. But I can tell you, talking to folks in the Intelligence Committee and in the community, there is concern that he continues to undermine their work, and that will only hurt our ability to fight terrorism as we go into this new administration.
Is that a word that they've used with you, undermine?
Yes. It is a word that they've used, that he is undermining their work by publicly calling out whether they are doing their work in a political fashion. Now, I can tell you, again, these people who serve our country, they hate politics. They want to just play it down the middle, follow the evidence, and do their job. And for him to accuse them without any evidence of doing their jobs in a political manner, it's really aggravating, and it's demoralizing.
Let me ask you quickly about the attack in Turkey. We know ISIS is claiming responsibility. I wonder if you have any sense if this is something that is directed by ISIS, inspired by ISIS. What can you tell us, Congressman?
Yeah, Turkey is ending a deadly year and rolling into what seems to be another one. And looking at the statement that came out on Twitter yesterday from ISIS, it appears that they sat back and waited to see if this individual was going to be caught or if someone else would claim responsibility by calling him a soldier of the caliphate, which suggests that this is an individual who is identifying himself with ISIS but was not directed by ISIS or in coordination with them. But that investigation continues, and I'll learn more tomorrow when we get back to Washington.
Yeah, as we've been saying, Congress does get back to work tomorrow, and we know that the Republicans, they're ready to go. They say they're going to repeal Obama's policies, a lot of them, pass their own, confirm the cabinet, focus on the Supreme Court. So what's the strategy on your side of the aisle? How do Democrats go about picking their battles?
Sure. In the first 100 days, I believe we have to be in a protect posture. Protect, protect, protect. And that means protect the progress we've made on the Affordable Care Act. For me, as a millennial, that means protecting so many young people who don't have employer coverage and rely on the Affordable Care Act. Also protect Medicare. So many young people, our parents, just like mine, are going on Medicare. And Paul Ryan has said that this is one of his top priorities, is getting rid of Medicare. And so we're going to have to protect, but at the same time, we have to be agile and walk and chew gum. We need to have and shape an economic policy that lifts up all Americans. So we've got a lot of work ahead, and I'm excited to get back there.
Well, Congressman, it's good to see you. Safe travels to D.C. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chris.